If you work from home, it is vital that you understand the major changes that the ATO has made to how you claim home office expenses in 2023. In order to maximize your tax return, you need to understand these changes so you can pick the method that will ensure that you're claiming the maximum you can. So what are the changes? Well, we're going now to just two simple methods. We have a fixed rate method and we have the actual cost method. So in essence, they're cutting out the shortcut method, and now we're left with these two existing methods that have undergone some significant changes. So what I'm going to do is go through these two methods and talk about what has changed, how they work now, and who they are best suited for. So let's start with the fixed rate method, and this has seen quite a significant change. So we're now moving to a fixed rate of 67 cents per hour. Now, where you need to be careful with this 67 cents per hour is what does that include? So that includes your internet, your phone, electricity and gas, computer consumables such as printing ink and stationery. Now, you do have additional claims on top of that. So you can claim things such as decline in value for assets such as computer and furniture, repair of assets, and cleaning only if you have a dedicated home office. So you need to really understand with this method is what is inclusive in that 67 cents so that you can make sure you can do your calculations basing on how did that compare to last year or how does that compare to the actual cost method. So how has this changed compared to last year? Well, last year was a 52-cent rate for the fixed rate. So you might be thinking, well, this is great, I'm getting an extra 15 cents per hour. But you need to understand, well, what was inclusive last year versus what's inclusive this year. So previously, under the fixed rate method, you could still claim for phone and internet. And this is a significant claim that people will typically have if they're working from home. Because most people who are working from home are obviously using their home internet. And if they're not provided a work phone, they're obviously using their phone quite a bit for work purposes. So these claims used to be able to be additional to the fixed rate, whereas now they're inclusive in that 67 cent rate. So that 15 cents per hour increase, if we take someone who works 38 hours a week and they work for approximately 48 weeks of the year, that is going to come to $273.60 difference. So if your phone and internet claim used to be more than that amount, then you're now worse off under the fixed rate method compared to the previous year. So for that full-time worker that's doing 38 hours across 48 weeks, that gets them a claim of $1,222.08. So this is the amount that you can claim under the fixed rate method for those inclusive items. Now, the big additional claim is the decline in value for your home office, furniture, or things like your computer and a laptop. Now, this is a bit of a change to the previous fixed rate method, because under that, you could still claim decline in value for things like computers and laptops, but you couldn't claim it for office furniture because that was already included in the fixed rate. So that is one good improvement on the fixed rate method. Now, when it comes to record keeping, you now need to record all of the hours that you work from home throughout the year. So this could be via a timesheet or a diary or even your calendar. Now, previously you could do a 4-week period and then bring that across the whole year, but now they want to see a record of all of the hours. Now, this change was only brought in from this year, so up until 28th of February, you don't need to have done all your hours, but from then onwards, they want to see a record of all of your hours. So my suggestion is go back through your diary or go through your timesheets to work out how many hours did you actually work from home. So I think the fixed rate method is going to be great for people that don't incur a lot of extra costs, and especially those that have a work phone provided for them. As soon as you start to be using your own phone and your internet quite significantly for work purposes, this can bring the claim well above the fixed rate method. Now, before I talk about the actual cost method, I have the goal here to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of this calendar year. So I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers, but I definitely need your help, and I'm going to provide value to you by providing as many videos as I can that are going to help you maximize your tax return this year. Now, let's get back into the video. Now, the actual cost method, well, that pretty much means that we're going to be applying the actual work-related percentage of all of our costs. So the biggest difference between this and the fixed rate method is that we can then claim the actual cost of things such as our phone, our internet, our electricity and gas, computer consumers, and stationery. Now, we can still claim the actual cost of decline in value and obviously the cleaning if we have a dedicated home office. But it's those additional expenses that we can claim, which is where we need to compare with the fixed rate method. So a good example of this is someone that's using their phone and internet for work purposes. So say their phone and internet both cost them $100 a month each, so we have $2,400 a year, and they're using them each 50% for work. So suddenly we have a claim of $1,200. So you can see this is almost the same amount as what the whole fixed rate method was for all of those other costs as well. So if you're using your phone and internet significantly for work purposes, the claim can be quite high. Now, my biggest issue with the actual cost method is definitely electricity and gas. And let's look at this example the ATO have. They talk about someone working from home and they have to obviously get their record of how many hours they've worked, which is fine. Where the difficulty comes in, they need to look at what is using power in their home office. So they use the example here of an aircon. Now they want to look at the kilowatt capacity of this. So with this, they can then work out the kilowatts per hour to run that. They then need to look at their electricity bill to work out what their cents per kilowatt hour is, to then work out what their claim for electricity is. You can see this is quite complex, and it's why pretty much no one used to use the actual cost method, because they didn't want to have to go through these calculations. It really frustrates me that they haven't just got a fixed rate for electricity and gas on top of the actual cost method. It's my biggest issue with this, and why I think a lot of people are going to be really frustrated when they come to do their tax returns. Now, when it comes to record keeping for the actual cost method, you do need to keep all of your receipts for any of your expenses, and then you can actually do a 4-week diary to work out your hours and your percentage usage for your phone and internet. So that is one advantage, but again, the more records you can keep, the better off you are. So the actual cost method is great for anyone that has significant phone and internet expenses or using a lot of computer consumables, etc. I think it has its place, and for a lot of people it will work out better than other methods, but it definitely is a bit more work to calculate things, especially the electricity and gas portion. So if you're looking for more tips on how to get better prepared for the end of financial year, this upcoming video, I've done a bit of a checklist on the things you should be doing by 30th of June that will help you maximize your tax return. I hope to see you over there.